What's up, YouTube? Now, you see the title of this video, and you see the image that I have on the screen. Now, this is honestly a video I wasn't going to make, but I decided, why not? Because I do have something that I would like to add on to the already litany of videos that have been made on this topic concerning this event, right? So I decided, why not give my input? Why not go ahead and put in my thoughts on this whole situation? And I find it funny that, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, you see the title and the image on the screen, but Nick Fuentes, a man by the name of Nick Fuentes, who's a far right, he's a Nazi. Let's be real, a white supremacist, Nazi, right? Who espouses all types of anti-black rhetoric, anti-so-called Jew rhetoric, right? And pretty much just hatred of anything that's not white for the most part. Let's be real. Very anti-black, right? Very racist, white supremacist. We know these types, right? He's akin to like the 4chan type of crowd, type of dudes, right? But he has a pretty presence on the far right sector of the internet, right? He has this group, I think, called Groypers. Just, a bunch of weird ass, insecure white boys, very, very childish, like very, very triggered because of their own, whatever's going on in their personal life. So they want to blame the Jews and blame the blacks and the trees and the caterpillars and pretty much anything that they can blame, they'll blame it, right? They don't have anything that they actually espouse as factual. Everything's propaganda and lies, right? So this is the guy we're dealing with, right? We're dealing with a guy like this, Nick Fuentes. And if you haven't heard, recently he has been arrested because his address was doxed, right? By, I believe, a woman that had an issue with a post he made on X, formerly known as Twitter, where he said, your body, I think it was your body, our choice, or something like that. It was some stupid tweet, right? Basically trying to say, men own women's bodies, right? Like I said, Nick Fuentes is one of these incel types, so he just relishes at the fact, of the whole abortion stuff and, women not having the right to abort. And I don't really agree with abortion, right? But that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is an incel loser like Nick Fuentes, a lame, just weak bitch like Nick Fuentes is running around, trying to gloat at women because he believes, you can control their body, which is absolutely ludicrous considering the fact that if a woman really did want to, end a pregnancy, there's other ways to do that besides going to an abortion clinic. But, we're not really about to get too much into that. I don't know like I said, he's a weirdo. So this is what he decided to post. And he got doxxed, and a woman pulled up to his crib, right? And, immediately Nick Fuentes opens the door and pepper sprays her, right? And she fell off of the porch, well, not porch, but the step she was on, and she might have actually hurt herself badly, falling off of a step like that on the concrete. So this is a bitch ass nigga we dealing with. And excuse my language, but I just gotta really just have no filter in this video, because I'm really about to go into why, this is something Nick Fuentes deserved, him getting arrested and him getting doxxed. He deserved this, and I'm gonna explain why. Because see, when you take to the internet as an individual, get on the internet and you get on a platform and you have a podcast or whatever the case may be, and you decide to speak to an audience and speak on the internet about topics, various different topics, right? Of course, we have the freedom of speech in this country, so you can get on the internet and pretty much talk about whatever you want to talk about, right? But see, here's the problem, right? And this is why sometimes I don't really agree with the whole freedom of speech thing, because it allows dumbasses like Nick Fuentes and others like him within the Nazi sphere of the internet to basically act like they can say whatever they want and push all types of negativity and hatred. And at the end of the day, when we're dealing with a Nick Fuentes and those of his ilk, you have to understand these idiots hide behind free speech so they can espouse their hatred and really their violence. See, this is the issue here. You can say all you want about free speech, but when you're on the internet, you know, pretty much advocating for violence against other groups and pushing propaganda against other groups, you don't have any facts to back up what you say about these groups. You're pushing propaganda, you're pushing stats that are without context and have more nuance to them, and you leave these things out in order to push your propaganda and in order to advocate for your violence against these groups and to dehumanize entire groups of people. And when you do stuff like that and then hide behind free speech, what you do really is open yourself up for what happened to Nick Fuentes, right? And this is why he deserved what he got. Because you don't get on the internet and advocate and pretty much advocate for the potential violence of other groups by your rhetoric, demonizing entire groups of people as if, you know, demonizing entire groups, you know, to where you're making it seem like they're savages and they're evil and all this, when the real evil individuals is those of your ilk, of the Nick Fuentes ilk, right? But they'll demonize other groups, dehumanizing other groups, putting other groups' lives in jeopardy with your rhetoric. And then to turn around and act like you don't deserve to get doxxed, you don't deserve to get pulled up on, you deserve to be dealt with ruthlessly. Nick Fuentes, there's certain things that what should be done to Nick Fuentes, I can't say on YouTube because I'll get my channel, I'll get this video banned, right? But, you know, I'll just put it like this. People like Nick Fuentes need to be unsubscribed from. And if you know what I mean, then yeah, you know what I'm hinting at. I don't mean unsubscribe channel. I mean, you know, people like Nick Fuentes need to be deleted, right? And I'm not talking about a computer deletion either. So, though, that's what I think needs to be done with people like Nick Fuentes. Because the wickedness and the evil that he spreads on the internet is full of, you know, it can cause danger. These people, man, do not know how to fucking drive. Anyway, it is, you know, he is spreading evil and wickedness, hatred, and endangering entire groups of people with his wicked rhetoric, right? So somebody like that needs to be dealt with. Somebody like that needs to be pulled upon. You can't throw stones, but then try to act like, you know, people ain't supposed to throw something back, right? You want to push your hatred and evil, that's cool, Nick Fuentes, and those of your ilk. But understand that there's people out there that will slide up on you and pull up, and they're completely justified in doing so. Especially if they're from one of those groups you attacking. They have every right to pull up on your ass and be like, all right, cuz, you talking big on the internet, I'm in person, now what's good? And see, this is what happens when we have a society that is devoid of manhood and masculinity. You think that there's something wrong with me saying that. There's going to be idiots that watch this video, weak bitches that watch this video, and are going to have a problem with what I've just said. They're going to have a problem with me saying that you should be able to pull up on people that's threatening your life. There's going to be people that's going to have a problem with me saying that people like Nick Fuentes need to be deleted. Because we live in a society devoid of manhood and masculinity. And this is why America's crumbling. We don't have men anymore. And And Nick Fuentes is actually a prime example of that lack of manhood. We do not have anybody who has any manhood anymore. So it's because of that you think it's wrong for me to say the things I'm saying. But people like him need to be dealt with. Nick Fuentes, they need to be dealt with. And if you want to get on the internet and spread hate, that's cool. But just know that there's people that will pull up on you and give you the business for endangering other people's lives and thinking that it's cool. You will be dealt with, right? It's just that simple, man. It's no debating this, because at the end of the day, if you think that you can sit on the internet and endanger other people, but then think can't nobody endanger you, well then you got life fucked up. It's just that simple. So, that's really all I gotta say on this Nick Fuentes topic, because at the end of the day, if you think that getting on the internet and pushing propaganda and hatred should not be met with some sort of pushback, then you're an idiot, right? You're an idiot. People who push wickedness in the world in general, they should be met with some judgment. They should be met with some righteous indignation. And see, that's what's wrong with this society, is that there is no morality in it really anymore. There is no standard that people should be held by. And people like Nick Fuentes can espouse all the hatred he wants on the internet and hide behind this freedom of speech. And see, this is the problem with the people in this society, is that they lack manhood, they lack integrity, and they lack the ability to understand that your words can cause problems to occur to you. If you are pushing negativity and violence and hatred against other groups, then you can be met with those same things in return. And that is what people fail to realize in the society. But that's all I really gotta say for this video. Nick Fuentes deserved what he got. To be honest, I wish something else would have happened, but it's cool. It's cool. That's all I gotta say for this video, though. I'm out.